The first thing the Galactic Coalition learned about humanity's ancient weapons was that the word obsolete did not mean harmless. The revelation came during a routine salvage auction on the neutral world of Carthos Prime. Species from a dozen star systems gathered to bid on relics from abandoned human colonies, rusted hull plates, cracked helmets, and databanks filled with outdated art. Nothing valuable, nothing dangerous, until they opened crate for 7B. Inside were rows of blunt, dark metal tools. No plasma coils, no antimatter chambers, just solid objects of steel, composite, and something the scanners struggled to identify. The auctioneer cleared his throat frills. Lot 47 designation, human kinetic implements, irradiated, approximately 800 Earth years old. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Pre-warp, someone clicked in disbelief. Why would they preserve training tools? Another scoffed. A Vraxian warlord leaned forward, his mandibles flexing. Those are weapons. The auctioneer hesitated. Yes. That was when the bidding exploded. The Vraxians won the crate, paying an absurd price for what most assumed were just ceremonial trophies. Within days, rumors spread across coalition channels. The Vraxians had begun testing the weapons, and the tests were alarming. The implements called firearms in the ancient Terran tongue launched solid projectiles at hypersonic velocities using only chemical reactions, no energy signatures to detect, no charge time, no cooling phase. Their rounds shredded modern composite armor designed to dissipate plasma and deflect particle beams. Worse, they worked everywhere. No magnetic interference, no power drain, no complex maintenance. Within weeks, other species demanded access. The Trelawney accused the Vraxians of hoarding strategic artifacts. The Elith Collective claimed humanity had violated coalition law by allowing such weapons to circulate. Skirmishes broke out, not with the guns themselves, but over ownership of them. Entire fleets maneuvered for the right to purchase more crates. That was when the coalition finally contacted Earth. The human representative arrived without an escort. No battleships, no threat displays. Just a woman in a simple jacket, carrying a cup of something steaming and bitter-smelling. She listened patiently as the coalition explained the crisis. You see, the Speaker of 12 said carefully, your ancient weapons are destabilizing the balance of power. We demand an explanation and, perhaps, restrictions. The woman blinked. You're fighting over those? Yes, the speaker replied. They are extraordinarily effective. She sighed. Of course they are. Those weapons were phased out centuries ago, she continued. Not because they stopped working, but because we developed better options. The chamber went silent. Better than these? Trelawney asked. Much better, she said. These were baseline infantry tools. We still use them for training or emergencies. But you found museum stock designs. We've improved the concept thousands of times since then. The speaker stiffened. Then why were these left behind? She smiled, but there was no humor in it, because we didn't think anyone would want them. As if on cue, alarms blared. Coalition sensors detected multiple fleets converging on Carthos Prime. Vraxian, Trelawney, Elith, all armed with newly acquired human kinetic weapons, all convinced they now held a decisive advantage. The speaker turned back to the human. You must help us stop this. She nodded. Already doing it. At that moment, every unauthorized firearm across coalition space failed. No explosion, no malfunction, just inert metal. The woman tapped her wrist console. Remote safeties, she explained. Standard on all human weapons. Even the old ones. We were very serious about control. Stunned silence followed. You disabled them all? The speaker asked. Yes, and before you ask no, you can't turn them back on. Only we can. She took another sip of her drink. But don't worry, we're not angry, just concerned, whispered the Vraxian warlord over an open channel. Yes, she said softly, because you were willing to tear your galaxy apart. Over tools we stopped relying on before we even left our home system. A pause. Next time, she added, you might want to ask what we're using now. The channel went dead. Across the coalition, fleets quietly powered down their weapons. Wars evaporated before they began. The crates of ancient human arms were sealed and returned to Earth. This time with warning signs in half a dozen alien languages, property of humanity. Decommissioned for your safety. From that day on, no species ever fought over human relics again. They were far too afraid of what wasn't in the museums. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing tales from across the universe. Let me know in the comments what you think humanity's current weapons are like. See you next time.